Getting started on YouTube can be super overwhelming. There's a lot of things you need to do and there's a lot of different advice out there. And so with this video, I'm hoping to give you a little bit of like an encouraging behind the scenes on at least what happened with our channel so that hopefully you feel a little bit more motivated and you have a little bit of like a clearer picture on how to move forward. So with this video, I want to share some of the insights, some of the learnings we've had, some of the mistakes we've made, and of course, the money side of things in order to help you on your own journey and hopefully so that you can do it much faster than we did ourselves. Before we even get started, I really just want to say that no matter how hard this might seem at the beginning, this journey is really worth it. You're going to learn so many different things. You're going to get a lot of positive feedback. You're going to build a community and connect with so many different people. It is worth 100% of the time that you're going to put into it. And this is before we even talk about the monetization side of things. So in order to get monetized, you actually need to hit some requirements. So it used to be 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. It actually, YouTube actually reduced it to 500 subscribers, if I'm not wrong, and 4,000 watch hours, which did not help that much, at least not in my case, but it is still cool. One thing that is important to note about the watch hours is that it's 4,000 watch hours over the last 12 months or 365 days. So even if you made a video 3 years ago that got a lot of views, that one will not help you. And it's only about public videos. So if you have like a private or a non-listed video, for example, that you shared with friends and family or whatever, that one will not count as well. This might seem like a lot and might seem hard, but I promise you, it's actually not that hard. It's going to be faster than you expect. And also, it's a really good goal to have. It's quite a motivating goal and it's super clear. So you know exactly what you're aiming for if you're aiming for monetization, and you can really work towards that. This is just kind of like the first bar that you need to hit so that you can really start considering yourself a YouTuber and hopefully making a full-time living out of it. So we posted our first video on this channel on the 2nd of July 2023. We actually had 3 other videos on this channel before that, but I'm going to get back to that in 2 seconds. So we started posting on July 2023 and we got monetized in November. We were not exactly consistent during that time, so all things considered, I think we did pretty good. We got monetized in a total of 5 months, which I think is pretty cool. We've made a total of 543.08 euros in revenue. That's about $600. Some of that came from YouTube ads, but surprisingly, a majority of that came from people reaching out to me and asking for advice. So that was kind of unexpected, but a really cool thing. So I guess I'm a consultant now. I'm not really sure. The weird thing though is that all those requests came from one specific video, which is not even on our top 10 most viewed videos on this channel. So I feel like I just need to tell you a little bit more about us and this channel so that you actually have some context of what is going on here. So in case you didn't know, my name is Jonas and I run this channel with my girlfriend, Julia. She's on the phone with her mom right now. We both work together. We're the co-founders of a tech startup called Busy, which is based in Berlin. We like to talk about building products, tech, fundraising, for example, but we're also a fully remote startup. So the two of us have been traveling the world for almost 2 years now. And so we like to talk about travel related things and digital nomads and other things related to our life. So I also like, for example, to do parkour and free running. That's like doing flips and jumping on stuff. Julie likes to do a lot of artsy things and crafting. She also has type 1 diabetes, so she also wanted to talk a little bit about that. We spend also way too much money on food, so we also wanted to talk about that. And so we decided actually that we didn't want to focus this channel on one specific thing. We watched a lot of Ali Abdaal's videos, so definitely watch those, by the way, where he was saying that you probably don't really know what people want to watch at the beginning, and so you should rely on your unfair advantage. The idea there is that there's a couple things that you're probably really good at that not many other people can talk about confidently, and so you should just start talking about a little bit of everything, and then your niche will kind of just emerge over time. I kind of like that idea because for us, the goal with this channel was to be able to just sit down, record videos, and hopefully at some point start making a living from it or start making just additional revenue from it. That was the goal. So we didn't really want to focus it on one thing or the other. So if you go on our channel, it's chaos. It's a mess. It's just a bunch of unrelated topics that we like to talk about. Some videos had a lot of views, some videos had almost no views, and that was kind of expected for us. We didn't really think that we were going to have any sort of like a fast growth, but we wanted this to be fun for us as we went into it, and then we would see where the journey takes us. We are both photographers and filmmakers, so we do have actually quite a lot of gear and we know how to produce high quality videos, and that's actually part of what our startup is about. So we even produce high quality content for companies like H&M, Zalando, etc. So we could have gone for like super high level production things, but as we're traveling, we didn't take any gear with us. So I'm filming this right now on an iPad, and most of our videos were always filmed on an iPhone. And this is the tiny little mic that we have, and the tiny little mic that we've always filmed with, if we're filming with a mic. And right now I don't have any lights, for example. We're just normal lights, right? So the idea there is that this needs to be simple, low effort, that we can just start recording, start posting, and see where it takes us, right? So we didn't really optimize for anything, and we didn't really follow most of the advice on YouTube. And to be honest, that has worked out quite well for us. So quick recommendation, watch Ali Abdaal's videos. And do the same, unless you have a very specific niche that you want to go into, of course. Let me just go on my phone and show you some of the analytics, actually. So here, we already had this channel where we posted some like investor updates and some like just videos for friends and family, etc. So they're not public, so they did not count towards the watch hours. So I'm not just showing them to you right now. We have these 3 videos right here. So how to fundraise on LinkedIn and like time management, etc. So they only have a couple views, and these ones I had actually made them for and so these videos, I had actually made them for other friends that have startups as well. And some of the people in our team, for example, so like time management for remote workers, etc. Right? So you can see that we posted a little bit at the beginning of the year, and then only really started posting with this super short video of like 4 ways to become a digital nomad, which got 19 views 6 months ago. And by the way, half of those views is just me refreshing. So, you know, and so from there, we started posting quite a lot. So the idea, as we said, was not necessarily to have a schedule or anything. We sometimes posted way more than once per week, and sometimes way less. It was just record the video, post it, and you know, let's see what happens, right? And so at the beginning, you can see, for example, we talked a little bit about traveling. So something in South Korea, digital nomads. Julia made a video about traveling with type 1 diabetes, something about Japan. And then suddenly 5 months ago, we had this one video here where I just compared two all-in-one messaging apps, which got a bunch of views. So that one was really cool to see. And a reason why it got a bunch of views is that I spammed it on Reddit and Facebook groups, so people hated me there, but it did work a little bit, at least to get it started, and it was quite motivating. But then everything kind of came crashing down right after, because all the following videos had barely any views. And after having a video that got thousands of views in a couple weeks, couple days even, actually, at the beginning, I had a video, for example, about startups that still has 36 views like 5 months later, right? So this can, and even another one about food in Japan that had like 22 views. So this can get a little bit depressing. But then all of a sudden we had this one here, the race for the new internet. It's just another comparison, again, like super low effort, low quality, just comparing 2 different browsers, so Arc and SigmaOS, which is still our most viewed video, 86,000 views. And so this one was really exciting. But then again, things came crashing down right after. The other one, Julie just made a quick video about Japan and some of the cultural differences there, 86 views, and so many other that didn't really get any views. But I think this was kind of like the turning point. Around 5 months ago, so we started posting in July. This was probably in September or October. Yeah, actually that was September, like middle of September, where most of our videos started getting some traction, right? So this started feeling really good. And since we had these 2 videos that were doing quite well, the thing to realize is that they didn't just go viral and die one day after the other, right? So they got kind of like steadily got views. So it was quite motivating to just get a couple, 10 views here, 10 views there, maybe a couple hundred views every day, and get a bunch of comments and new subscribers every day. But at the same time, you're putting out new videos that barely get any views, and like you're getting this video that gets hundreds of views, sometimes even thousands of views in one day, and it doesn't translate to the other ones, right? Because they're not, our topics are absolutely not related. And so people subscribe, and a lot of them unsubscribed as well when we posted a video that had nothing to do with what we previously posted. So here, for example, something about wiring, so crafting and stuff like that, right? I just wanted to show you this just to show that it's not regular, stable, and linear growth always going up steadily, right? You have a lot of ups and downs, which can be hard. You also have a lot, like the vast majority of comments, for example, are always positive. Most people are nice. Most people won't help you, but of course you have some negative comments, and when they're negative, they're usually very negative. And so you always have to like block people and delete them, etc. And so that's annoying, but it does happen. There's also positive in this, in the sense that, at least in our case, the vast majority of growth came from only a couple videos, actually. So it doesn't really matter if like the 10 first videos we made are absolutely disgusting. If we only make one video, that is more than enough to kind of like blow up the channel, right? Or at least you get a second and a third and a fourth chance, and you can keep on going. And you never really know which video is going to be a good one. All these videos that got a lot of views for us were definitely not the ones I was expecting. Pretty much every video I thought was going to be a hit did really, really bad. You only need a couple successful videos for your channel to really start growing. So the lesson here for us was that we just need to keep on posting and just keep talking about random things and just see what the audience wants to hear and see what type of videos work and just keep on going, right? So let me just go here quickly into views and show you here 365 days. There's just one thing that is quite interesting. So you can see here, for example, that 4th of July, 5th of July, so literally 3 days after we posted our first real video on YouTube, we got 3,000 views. These 3,000 views actually came from shorts. So now I need to go here into content because we're doing just some like travel videos on TikTok. And so we just reposted them to YouTube. Some of them got a lot of views, but at least in our case, that did not translate to revenue. Pretty much zero money ever made on shorts up to now. So we stopped at some point. So that might be why, but also not that many subscribers. And so we stopped doing those quite fast. So here, what is really interesting is when I go into actual videos and then look at the views. So let's go into 365 days again last year. And now you can see that there's 3 big spikes. We had a couple days where some videos really started going up, right? So for example, here, 14th of August. So that was more than a month after we posted the first video. That we got one day where we got 4,000 views in one day. That was kind of crazy for us. And then of course it started going down after that, but not by much, right? So like, of course, compared to 4,000, yes, but compared to what we had before, which look at July, we barely had 1 view, 11 view, 3 views per day, and then it started going up. It kind of got to this peak, and then it's kind of started going back down again, and sometimes it kind of came back up. But the really cool thing is that it never went down to the same level as it was before. So it always was around at minimum like 200 per day until, so between 14th of August and middle of September, pretty much. So yeah, on the phone, this is not ideal. But overall, we were getting more views than ever before, and we were getting more subscribers as well over time, getting us closer to that goal of 1,000 subscribers, right? Then we had another video that kind of like started spiking again. And so we had like 2 spikes here again at like 2,000. And then in November, again, another 2,000 per month. And so we stopped traveling actually in August, end of August. We had to come back to France and Switzerland, where we're from, and so we kind of stopped posting around that time. So you can see there's a big gap here where we were posting multiple times per week even, and then at some point around here, exactly around here, like 4 months ago, 3 months ago, there's a lot less videos, and then we completely stopped posting about 2 months ago actually. This was our biggest mistake. I think we should have just kept on posting. We try to do less videos, but a little bit more research, a little bit higher quality. That did not work out at all. It was better when we were just rambling. So lesson learned there, I guess. This is why I'm just rambling right now. Just another quick learning that I just wanted to show you. So this is our most viewed video up to now. So almost 87,000 views. If you go into the views, like it kind of spiked at some point here in August. It was getting a lot of views really fast, so you can see the growth here, and then it started like stagnating, where it wasn't just growing exponentially anymore. This whole period right here in September, for example, it was still growing and getting views, but much more stable. So I thought, oh, okay, this is the end. It's not gonna get any more views, right? It's just gonna like slowly flatline, and then at some point it's just gonna die, and cool, we're gonna have to make more videos. But somehow here in October, it started accelerating again. It started getting more and more views. So that was very exciting. I didn't really understand why. And then it started flat. I thought it was going to start. It started slowing down again. I thought it was going to flatline a second time. And again, beginning of November, it picked up again for like a third acceleration time, let's say. And then slowly, now it started flatlining, and it's still getting views every day, by the way, but of course it's not getting that like huge acceleration there. So that was also another lesson that we learned, that on YouTube most videos never actually really die. This is great because the more videos you make and the longer you keep with it, you're gonna have kind of like a library, like a catalog of videos that keeps on getting views over time. And this is actually how many YouTubers can make a lot of money over time. Like if you think of your favorite YouTubers that have been doing this for a while, they're still making money from videos they made 10 years ago. Every new video is a video that they add to the catalog that just makes more and more and more views and makes more and more and more money. So even if they stop doing videos today for a whole year, they would never stop getting views completely. That is something, it is quite obvious, right? But I didn't really understand that at the beginning. And not just that, but a video can pick up in popularity later on. So you might make a video now and it only really gets picked up by the algorithm in 2 months, in 3 months, in 6 months. And so you should just keep on posting and should really not get discouraged. The fact that you don't have a lot of views on your video today really does not reflect on the quality of your video or if your video could be popular at some point. That was just like a mind-blowing realization for me, honestly. Now, of course, let's get into the juicy part. Let's get into the revenue. So as I said, most of the revenue actually did not come from the ads. So in total, we only made 43.08 euros in revenue in total in the past 6 months. So that is actually not quite a lot. So it's much more than I ever expected, to be honest. So the moment you see that you're monetized and you get that going from like 0 to even just 0.10 and then 1, yeah, I mean, that feeling there, it's amazing, right? It feels really, really good. And you're really happy about yourself. Like the fact that you can just post yourself rambling on the internet and that actually makes you money, even just like a single dollar, that is crazy. But all things considered, of course, this is not paying my bills, right? But let's go here into, for example, January. Yeah, so you can see that we got monetized in November. So between the month of July and October, we were just posting and we were not really making any money at all. So we got monetized in November where we made 29.58 euros. And from there, it only kept going down because we were posting less and less and less. And our videos that made us most of this revenue, of course, started stagnating at some point as well. So they're still going up, which is why we're still making money today. We're on the 16th of January and we've made $1.76 in January. So I guess that makes me rich, right? The reason again is just we completely stopped posting. The thing I mentioned before, like the specific video that made us the most money, which is not our most profitable one, is actually this one, building an AI powered newsletter business in 24 hours. It was actually a little bit longer than 24 hours. Pretty much this video only got 530 views, right? But it got a lot of attention from the right people. And so I never really expected this, but a lot of people started reaching out to me for advice on how to build this AI powered newsletter. So I still have to do an update on this one, by the way. And so we've made over 500 euros just getting on Zoom and explaining this to people and just sharing templates and that sort of stuff. So that was kind of like just a little bit of like an additional side revenue that was not expected. So this might, of course, not be applicable to everything, but understanding that making money on YouTube is not just about ads. Of course, YouTube has like other ways that you can make money. Like for example, here, like memberships and supers and shoppings and whatever. I never made any money on from any of these, but understanding that you can actually build a business on YouTube and you don't really need a lot of views to build a business on YouTube if you're thinking of making money from this full time. So here you have to be a little bit creative, right? So I'm just talking about this because this was completely random. This was absolutely not planned. I had just built this for myself for our startup and I was really excited about it. So I just really wanted to talk about it. And this ended up being our most profitable video ever up to now, even though it only just has 530 views. And if I just go into the analytics, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much flatlining. I just want to quickly go through some of the main learnings and mistakes that I really hope are going to be useful for you. And I hope that you're going to avoid these mistakes so that you can go much, much faster than we ever did. The first one is that we were traveling across South Korea and Japan. We were really excited. We wanted to make videos. We wanted to talk about things, etc. But when we came back, we had to focus on our startup. We had a lot of work going on, a lot of family stuff going on, etc. And we also lost motivation, right? It was really exciting at the beginning when you had that clear goal and you're working towards something. But once we achieved that, of course, we were very excited for a little while. But after a month and you see that, okay, we made 27 euros, like on one side, it's great. But on the other side, this is so far away from being able to actually have any relevant impact in my life that we didn't have like a second goal after this, right? And so the first goal that we had was so specific that we were kind of lost after that, and we just stopped posting for long periods of time. And we posted some videos left and right, but it was not really fun, and it wasn't really the type of videos that we wanted to make. And so you could see this in the numbers, right? Everything was just going down, and we posted less and less. This was the first major mistake, in my opinion. That we do not stop posting, I guess. Just keep on posting. As we said before, you only really need one video, and everything you only need one video to turn your whole channel around. The second point I want to talk about is more of a learning, actually. So the amount of support you get is incredible. As I said, very few negative comments compared to the amount of positive ones. And when they're positive, they're really positive. When you only have like 200 subscribers and somebody watches your video and they tell you, oh, I really thought you had like 1 million subscribers. Oh my God, I can't tell you how good that feels. Or even when they say like 400,000, or that they say that this video is incredible, or we help them in one way or another. This really means a lot, you know, and this really helps. And so it's worth also taking the time to reply to the subscribers. And over a few days, you start seeing that some of those people actually watched other videos, and that is amazing, right? And so this is that sense of like building a community that people love to talk about on YouTube. For a long time, I was like, yeah, I'm not really sure you really have like a community. I don't really understand what people meant by like community and like you have a community. But now I can safely say that I can see this, right? So it's not just likes and comments and subscribers, is that people actually interact with you and care about you and subscribe because they want to see more videos from you. And this also means that people actually start reaching out. We started getting a bunch of messages on our private Instagram profiles. People found them in one way or another and started just complimenting us, asking questions, just talking in general, etc. So a bunch of like interesting conversations that came out of this. A bunch of new friends were made. I jumped on like a bunch of Zoom calls with different people, etc. Sometimes paid, sometimes not paid. And so that was just really that really cool experience. The conclusion is just that building a community is a real thing. It's a real thing that happens kind of naturally as you're having fun, making more videos and being authentic, I guess. Third point is that you learn things very quickly, and also that your first videos really do not matter. In just a few videos, you get much better at everything, right? It gets so much easier to talk into the camera, to edit, to find things to talk about, etc. So the main lesson there for us was just that the hardest part was just getting started. And I really feel like I should have gotten started much faster. If only I had started when I was like 12 and dreaming of being a YouTuber. Yeah, that would have been amazing, right? The other thing is just your first videos really don't matter. You really have to think of it as just training. They're probably not gonna get any views, and so it doesn't really matter. You can even just hide them afterwards. You could just post them in private just for yourself to see. And also, like if people in your life, let's say like your parents, cousins, friends, colleagues, whatever, actually find them, it means that you're doing something, right? If they actually find them, it means that you're being picked up by the algorithm. You probably have a bunch of views on those videos already, so there's not going to be anything for them to actually laugh at. Hopefully. Don't wait, just get started as fast as possible. And on the flip side, the main mistake was just not getting started fast enough. The only way you get good at this, and I would still not consider ourselves particularly good at this YouTube thing, is just getting started, to be honest. Just getting started and doing it again and again. You got to get the reps in, you know? This is related to the next point, which is the bar is much lower than you think. You might be the sort of people that watches like super high quality YouTube videos that get millions of views, etc. But if you go into your watch history, I think you would be surprised by the type of videos that you yourself watch. If you're still watching this video right now, I'm pretty sure you can make a better video than this if you really tried. So the bar is much lower than you think. Like you don't really need any lights, camera, equipment or anything. As long as what you're saying is somewhat interesting to someone. In one of the videos I was watching once, like a tutorial or something, somebody said like to make thumbnails, just go back into your watch history and look at the titles of the videos you watch yourself and the thumbnails of the videos you watch yourself. I started looking at what I actually watch, and the quality is really not that good. You know, the quality is really not that good. I watch a lot of One Piece videos, for example. One of my favorite YouTubers is Teching 101. That guy just sits down and starts rambling, right? He's really good at what he does, of course, but the video quality is really not that great. Another quick learning here is that views are actually more stable over time than I would have ever expected, actually. It might actually be a good thing to not get a ton of views right away. Let me just explain this. After thinking about it for a while and looking at our channel, we've identified, let's say that seems like very fancy, but we've identified 3 types of different videos. And then if you go on YouTube, you'll see a lot of people actually talking about this. Is that you have, of course, viral videos. And this is what I think we were aiming for, like the sort of videos that you make and get hundreds or if not millions of views right away, right? The downside is that it's a crazy fast growth, but they potentially have a limited lifetime. You have like viral videos that of course everybody sees, but in 2 months they're gone. You know, nobody really talks about it anymore. Then you have the second type of videos, which are kind of like community videos. Vlogs are a really good example where they probably won't go viral. They probably won't bring you any like or a lot of like new viewers and new subscribers, but they're going to be really interesting for people who already know you and are already in your audience. So there actually is quite a lot of value on those. I didn't really understand at first, like, why do people do vlogs and how do people grow with vlogs as well? That was something that really didn't make sense for me. But then the third one is actually searchable videos. So tutorials, for example, these are the sort of videos that you're going to post. This is going to get pretty much 0 views at the beginning. It's going to be very, very slow growth, but it's going to be very stable growth, and they're going to keep getting views for much, much longer. So the videos that keep on growing the most steadily on our channels are all tutorial videos. These are the sort of videos that people actually go on YouTube and search for. So if you think about it, and at least in our case, I would not want to do like a Mr. Beast type of videos, because of course you could get lots of views, but each video kind of goes away really fast and you have to keep kind of like upping yourself every time. Whereas if you have the patience to do, let's say, a channel, for example, just about tutorials, it's going to be very, very slow growth. But a tutorial that you made about whatever, tying your shoelaces, for example, 20 years ago, that video is still gonna get searched 20 years from now and is still gonna get views, assuming shoelaces still exist. And this, the same goes for community videos as well. So all these type of videos are actually very valuable in their own right, but I think we were mostly kind of like searching for or trying to make viral videos at the beginning, which did not work. So final thoughts. If there's one thing you can take away from this video, is just you need to get started as fast as possible and you need to just keep on posting. That was actually 2 things, sorry, but still interesting. Don't get demotivated. You never know which video is gonna make. You just have to keep on posting. As you keep on posting more, you're gonna get better and better and better. You're gonna learn more and more and more. So please do not get demotivated. Please just keep on posting. Set some goals for yourself. Set a schedule or something so that you can hopefully stay consistent in one way or another, and just keep on posting. As long as you don't give up, I'm pretty confident that you can make it. I'm pretty confident that you can first get monetized at some point and then actually start making enough revenue to hopefully go full-time on this and consider yourself like a creator and a full-time YouTuber, right? Starting a YouTube channel is a really, really rewarding experience. You learn so much. You make so many new experiences. It feels like, even though I would still not consider myself a YouTuber, this has really changed our life and really changed our career and the way we see ourselves, the way we see the world, and where the possibilities that exist as well. So I would definitely encourage you to get started as fast as possible. It's also a really humbling journey, right? Everything you think you know is probably wrong. You do, for example, you probably don't know what people actually like. You really don't know which videos are going to be successful. And in some weird way, that's really exciting. It really all comes down to just putting yourself out there, to be honest. Like, the more you do that, the more you post, the more opportunities you get, the more you learn, and the more you grow as a person. It's really all about just trying new things and staying motivated. I really, really want to encourage you to just click publish. Just put yourself out there and get started. Just start moving forward, start learning, and good things are going to come out of this. I promise you. Don't be embarrassed. I know you can do it. Just get started and let me know how it's going. So if any of you already have a YouTube channel or are starting a YouTube channel, you know what, just drop it in the comments. I'm going to check it out. Hopefully other people in the comments can check it out and we can all learn from each other. If you're still here, thanks a lot for watching. I would really love it if you dropped a comment, if you dropped a like, and of course, if you subscribed. If you think the other videos on this channel could be interesting for you, please share any advice you might have for me, for other people watching this video. And yeah, let's do this.